It's going to be a long European journey for the Scottish teams, but that doesn't mean that they're going to go far. Welcome back, guys, to Son of Scotland TV. Rangers and Celtic, they've got off to their opening games in the Europa League, the Europa League campaign underway. It wasn't impressive, far from it. In fact, Celtic picked up a draw against Red Star Belgrade, but Rangers, they took it one step further and they picked up absolutely nothing at home against Genk. And I'm looking at the teams representing Scotland this year, and I have no faith. For me, this is the weakest looking Celtic side that we've seen since they lost the title, since they lost out in 10 in a row. Rangers, weakest looking team I think we've seen Rangers have since probably the pre-Gerrard days. So we're talking the worst these teams have been in a number of years now. And then you're looking at the team that is representing Scotland in the Europa Conference League in Aberdeen are just abysmal, and the league table speaks for itself. They have not scored a fucking goal in the league yet. 5 games in, not a single goal scored. So it's embarrassing. I'm fearing the Scottish coefficient this year. I'm fearing how Scottish teams are going to do. I don't think Aberdeen will get into the top 24 of the Conference League. I thought that Rangers and Celtic would just about do it, and I still think Celtic have a chance, but Rangers, under Russell Martin, they're going to struggle now. First game at home, lost it to Genk, 7 remaining. You need probably 8 points to qualify. It is going to be tight. But yeah, Celtic, they got a 1-1 draw against Red Star. I don't think that's a bad result. Iheanacho did well. He took his goal. No complaints with that one. We did see Arnautovic equalise about 8 minutes later. Pretty poor defending for the corner for Celtic. I think Celtic had a couple of chances to potentially win the game, but so did Red Star Belgrade. So I think a draw for Celtic was probably a bit of a fair result, and we'll see if they can kick on for that draw. And it might turn out to be a good point, or who knows, it might turn out to be 2 points dropped come the end of the campaign. But as for Rangers, yeah, they were down to 10 men. Yeah, you're always going to struggle when you lose that 11th man. But Rangers just fell apart, and to be honest, didn't look that good with 11 versus 11 on the pitch. The former Celtic man got the goal to sink Rangers. He probably should have scored a lot more than one tonight. It was pretty poor in terms of finishing and being clinical and putting the ball in the back of the net. Kind of did expect a little bit more from him. It didn't happen, but he seemed delighted to score. He took his shirt off. He was celebrating. You can tell that this meant a lot to him. So I guess he does have bitter feelings maybe towards Rangers. I'm not really sure if I see a £24 million man here. I know he's been linked to these big moves. For me, I thought O was decent at Celtic, but I think that's all that he is. I think he's just a decent striker, and a decent striker was enough to sink Rangers and Russell Martin tonight. So, yeah, embarrassing. All that Russell Martin has had to live off over the past few weeks, or past month even, is 2 wins, 1 against Hibernian and 1 against Alloa. So apart from the 2 Premier Sports Cup wins, what has Russell Martin had over the past month in charge of Rangers? He's had absolutely nothing. It has been shocking, and I'm surprised he's still there. He now has to beat Livingston at the weekend. But yeah, overall, guys, the Scottish coefficient, I'm not optimistic. I'm not going into this thinking we're going to do well. I think if we're lucky, Celtic might still be playing European football come the end of the league phase, but I don't see Aberdeen and I don't see Rangers, unfortunately, at the moment making it. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope Rangers can start putting in some results, and I hope Aberdeen do start picking up, but I think that they might need to get rid of both the managers before we see improvements for both of those clubs. But anyway, that's just my thoughts, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.